everyone, welcome back to my channel, LaShonda's Creations. If you are new to my channel, please subscribe and give my video a thumbs up. In today's video, we are going to be doing a DIY two-piece bracelet. So in the video, what you will need is your beading board. And remember, I'll leave links to everything that I'm using here today in the description. You will need your 1mm stretch magic. This can be found on Amazon. It can be found at Joann's, Michael's, any craft store, Hobby Lobby, AC Moore. The beading board also came from Amazon, and I'll leave links to this in the description. I'm using, I call these bars or tubes. These can be found on Amazon, and if you are following me on Facebook, I also carry a small selection for sale. You will also need the charms of your choosing. These ones came from Amazon, but I do carry a small selection of charms, like these little purses and stuff like that. Alright, so let's get started. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to get our string. I always recommend getting more than what you need, so you can have enough to tie your knots at the end. And a basic rule of thumb when creating jewelry is, before you get started, you always want to just pre-stretch your jewelry. Your string. You don't want to stretch it too much, but once you're wearing your jewelry, with wear and tear, it does start to stretch. The stretchy cord, it does start to stretch, and it then can start to leave gaps in between the bracelets, the beads and the spacers. You do not want that. So we just give it a basic stretch before getting started. If you watch any other tutorials on my channel, you know that I always start beading with a charm. And the charm is just basically up to you, but because we're doing a two-piece like this, I'm going to start with the bar or the tube first, and I basically just insert that the same way that I do a charm, and then I will start to bead. As you guys know from following me before, whatever basic rule of thumb is, whatever you do on one side, do on the other side. So if you add a charm, if you add a spacer on one side, then add a spacer on the other side. So I'm just gonna continue beading. So this is what we have so far, and you will basically just continue in that pattern. If you guys have not watched the previous video, I will leave that video also in the description. But a basic bracelet for the average size woman is a 7. My beading board that I have, it is in centimeters. Um, so on this beading board, it will be 17 centimeters, which is this circle here, which is the one that the beads are around. So just going to keep beading this until we get the look that we are going for. And that's the great thing about having a beading board, is you are able to lay out your pattern, and for whatever reason, if once you hold the bracelet up, you're not liking how it is turning out, you can always change your pattern before tying the string and messing up, or you know, messing up string, because once you tie it and cut it, then you know, that's it. But if you already know that you're not liking it, you can just change the pattern before. And I think that's about enough beads for this one. So as you guys know, I always end with a bead on one side and a spacer on the next. So what we are going to do is we are going to just tie this. And can you guys see how it is not a full circle, but once you pull it and you pull it tight, you can kind of see that it is, that once you pull it, it has formed that circle. So that's what you want to do. And then you want to just, I tie about 3 or 4 times. So you tie it, and make sure you pull the knot snug. This is to ensure when you making it for a gift, and these are perfect for any occasion, birthdays or anything. So when you pulling it, you want to make sure that you pull it tight and that it's snug. And the next thing you want to do is you want to go right on the top of this bead, this spacer here, and you want to just get as close as you can, like that, and cut. And that way, that bead there, that knot is not showing. So, and then we're going to do the same thing. I already have my other string already cut and ready to go, and I've already stretched it. So we're going to just start this one the same way with a charm. And if you guys have watched my videos before, I always like to add beads next to the charms, not the spacers, because I don't like the gap. So I'm going to add a bead next to each side of the spacer. Just like that. And after you have done that, I am just going to continue in the pattern. continue going in that pattern until you have reached the desired look. Alright, okay. Just like this. We're going to just keep going in our pattern until we have reached the end. Keep weaving that. Now we're getting to the end. And as you guys can see, on this pattern I used 2 different size beads, just so I can show you guys that that works also. Does not have to be the same bead, however it can, but it does not have to be. And because we are getting to the end, I'm going to just add these. So there we have it. Now the last thing I'm going to do is just add a spacer to this side, and then we're going to tie it up. So here is the design. So as you guys know, we would just tie this until it forms. Nope. To make sure that it is the appropriate size. And just a rule of thumb, if you make a bracelet and it is too big, or if it's too small, you can increase it by half the size by adding a bead and a spacer. So now that we are done, we are going to just take our spacer. Now, and we are just going to form a tie. Now that's better. And again, you want to pull this tight so that it forms a circle. And then you would just double. So now that we have got the design the way that we want it, now we are going to take these 2 ends and we are going to just tie a knot the same way. Now can you guys see how that is not a circle? You do not want that. What you want to do is you want to just pull this until it forms a circle. Can you guys tell the difference and what we just did. So you want to pull that, and then you want to just tie 3 or 4 times, and you want to pull snug so that the knot will hold. I just do it 3 or 4 times just to make sure that that knot is not going anywhere. And the same as before, we will take our scissors, get right up on that knot, and cut it. And that and you have a beautiful 2-piece set. Again, if you found this video to be helpful, please give it a thumbs up. If you haven't already, please go ahead and subscribe to my channel. Thank you guys, and I'll see you guys in the next video.